old show. This is the Big O 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 Show. This is...
Where can you drive the new 2025 Acura Integra for only $289 a month? There's just one place, Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them.
With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation.
Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house! Get out of the house!
Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
Where can you drive the new 2025 Acura RDX for only $399 a month? There's just one place, Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge, Total Landscape Solutions.
After 4 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
It's big. It's gigantic. It's the Toyota of Hollywood Super Sale. Over 2,000 Toyotas from just $17,988. Like a Corolla LE, not $24,000, $17,988. Buy with 0% financing, 0 down. Join the fun and get a super deal at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
South Florida, listen carefully. Osmani Garcia with Omega Realty Group is changing the game. He's not just listing homes. He's guaranteeing to sell yours in 30 days or less, or he'll buy it himself. No excuses, no delays, no fine print games. This is real. If you're serious about selling, call 305-440-1990 and see if your home qualifies. Osmani Garcia delivers results. Osmani Garcia, the home of the 30-day sale guaranteed, where guarantees are backed by action. Call now, don't wait. This market won't wait for you. Restrictions apply. Call 305-440-1990.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Before you buy or lease a Honda, Volkswagen, Hyundai, or any other model, compare Subaru, rated #1 in safety at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Buy with 0.9% financing, 0 down. Forester with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $259 a month. Crosstrek with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $239 a month. During the Subaru A Lot to Love event at Subaru of Pembroke Pines, South Florida's #1 volume Subaru retailer.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649. Or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welton Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welton Rayom can help.
Where can you drive a new Acura ZDX for only $439 a month? There's just one place, Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Friday, welcome aboard. It is a beautiful Thursday if you're a Panthers fan. It's an absolutely another shitty day if you're a Miami Dolphins fan, because, of course, it's day number 18,721 since they lifted the Lombardi Trophy, and now we open up with the news of Jonnu Smith on the trade block. Wow. Anyway, that's got a lot of layers. A lot of layers. Some of them you won't like. Anyway, we will get to those layers. And that story now, you'll have to hang on. But we got a lot of, I was thinking it's been tough to come up with stuff to talk about. Today has been a blessing in disguise because now there's all kinds of, I already had several topics I wanted to approach. Now I've got another juicy one with Jonnu Smith, with Adam Schefter reporting that. So, it's insane. I'll get to the Dolphin stuff because I got a bunch of stuff that I want to talk about. Again, if you didn't catch us last night, we did the post-game show once the Panthers clinched the Eastern Conference Finals against the who was it again? The Hurricanes, against the Carolina Hurricanes. So 5-3. The Hurricanes. I'll pull a Trumpy. I heard the Hurricanes are now going to change their logo. They're no longer going to be called the Hurricanes in honor of the Florida Panthers shutting them down again. And because the Miami Hurricanes are here, that's what I heard. That's it. Or they will be dropped as the 50th state. It's one of the two. Which one was it? If they don't drop the Hurricane, they get dropped as a state, or they are dropping. I don't know which one it is. I'm not exactly sure, but I heard they're considering it. Everybody else does it. Why can't I do it? But anyway, so they took care of the Hurricanes, and last night they were down 2-0, and we had panic in the streets. Right? Did you sense it? Did you sense it last night? 2 down, 2-0. Oh my God! Oh. Did you see that first period, that? And it's funny because I have been talking about Billy Idol's new album. Haven't I mentioned it a couple times? Did I not mention that I like a song called John Wayne? Yeah, right? Because there's a really cool song in the new album called John Wayne. Love the effing song. It is it gets you jacked. Okay? Seriously. Go to the new Billy Idol album and listen to John Wayne. Great solo by Steve Stevens. Great song. So, the Panthers, they were kicking Tampa's ass, and in game 3, they got their ass kicked. And everybody, oh, my God, what happened there? And then they go to Toronto, and they're down 2-0. And, oh, my God. And, and then here, they lose that game. Oh, you're only up 3-1 now. Oh, wait a minute. You can't let them go. And then they're down 2-0. And I go, dude, this is what I've been jamming lately. This is John Wayne. And there's a verse in the song that says, 'cause I'm not afraid. I won't go down in flames. 'Cause nothing's going to be the same. and everything you know, you keep it inside your soul. Because tonight I'm going to be John Wayne. Obviously, Billy Idol sings it a lot better. But the verse, that verse, because I'm not afraid, I won't go down in flames, because nothing's going to be the same. And everything you know, you keep inside your soul, because tonight I'm going to be John Wayne. That line there, that's the Panthers, bro. The adversity hits, and they're John Wayne. I know it's an old reference, obviously, a very old reference, and youngins would have to kind of pick up on the aura of what was John Wayne, not the real person that everybody found out about after. But it's a great song, and every time the Panthers face adversity, I've been thinking of that song now. Because I've jammed it so much in my car. I freaking love that song. I love the album, actually. It's really good. The first 6 songs for me are actually very good. He's still making good music. But that song, John Wayne, is my favorite song in the album. And that verse, which is the main verse in it, is, it's repeated several times. That's them. Like, backs against the wall, and it's I'm not going down, and I'm gonna be John Wayne. It sounds so cool for somebody older. You know what I'm saying? But it's kind of cool because it's Billy Idol, and he's bringing in an older reference to obviously overcoming, and I thought it was really, really cool. So if you guys ever want to give it a listen. For me, if Panthers, if you're out there, it should be your Stanley Cup song. Okay? I'm just saying. It's a perfect song to come out. It's a modern song. It just came out this year. I know it's a classic guy, but that helps too. And it's got a rock feel to it, right? And it's got that Billy Idol edge to it. I like it. I like it. So I'm just saying, and yes, in honor of it, of course, I had to wear a Billy Idol shirt. I missed him when he was here with Joan Jett. But September 3rd, he's at Red Rocks. I looked at the tour dates and I go, I want to really see him in this tour because I want to see him sing a lot of the songs from this album. Because Kings and Queens of the Boulevard, I think it's called, the album he did a few years back. I saw the set list that he's doing now. He doesn't do a song from that album, and that album has like 4 or 5 great songs. So it's, Postcards from the Past is like a freaking awesome. Whiskey and Pills is terrific, man. He's still making really good music, and he didn't do any songs from that album. So I'm afraid that he may not do much from this album in future tours. So I was thinking if I make a trip to anywhere, go back to Red Rocks would be pretty cool. Go see Billy Idol in Red Rocks, September 3rd, I believe it is. It's pretty cool. Do you have a listener out there? You got an extra place I can stay out there or something while I'm at Red Rocks for a couple days? See if I can cut corners. Friends in high places, right? Isn't that what it is in Denver, right? Everything's a high place. I'm not talking about that. Get your mind out of the gutter. It's, Mile High. Come on. Jesus. Thinking about the other stuff. NorCal, where you at? Cosa Nostra's number 1, I see. Damn right. Congrats to all the Panther fans. Jeff in Long Island have an opinion on one reason has been saying about the dude, somebody brought that up to me. Apparently there's some rift between writers and YouTubers, and I hate to sound like
like a jerk. Okay. I'm not included in any of this because I'm not. And I'm not involved in any of this. I don't care about it. And quite frankly, Jeff, I'm above that shit. Okay. I mean, they've reached out to me to do those silly round tables with all those other and no, dude, I don't need to do that. Yeah. I bring more knowledge and experience than all those people combined as it is. So I don't. I'm way above that, dude. Way above that. So I'm on my own. I'm my own man. I stand on my own. If you haven't noticed, I'm not a follower. Just that's not who I am. So I'm all alone here, my platform, and I do it completely different than everybody else does. Okay, I'm not a podcaster. I don't have my shit pre-recorded. Everything is done live. It's a live show, and we talk about everything because we know all the sports, and we know about a lot of other things that we like to talk about. So we're a complete show. I'm a complete host. I know a lot of people gravitate to me for Dolphin stuff because I've done pretty well with that for a long time, but I am not part of that community. Okay? Not even close. All right? That's a whole other community out there. God bless them. They have their own thing to do. There's space for everybody, but I'm not included in radio. And I'm not included in podcasters. Okay. We're a live YouTube show that talks about everything. Okay. I don't come here where I'm mechanically prepared to say everything and set up everything. And then he goes into the lab and cuts it up and edits it. And let's re-record this and that. No, this is all done at one shot. Every day live. That's what I've done my whole life. I'm an ad lib guy. Okay. Those people don't ad lib. None of them. Not even on radio. They struggle to do 8 straight minutes. Okay? Before they got to take another 8 or 9 minute commercial break. Oh, and by the way, it's like 3 or 4 of them in a segment talking. It's fucking amazing. So I am sorry, Jeff. Full of myself, stuck up, a jerk. Whatever adjective you want to use to describe me, I'm good with that, dude. Go for it. But I'm way above that shit. Way above that shit. Oscar Rojas is in Melbourne. Gus 1388. One-Eyed Jack. George Gras. Juan Mendoza. Let's see. Says Big O, get ready for the sore losers and crybaby fans talking about the state tax. We already went over that. You obviously didn't watch the post-game show. We had a Toronto fan chime in about it, and I said, was there salary cap and all that all the way in 66? Come on, bro. Toronto hasn't won a championship since the day I was born. And I'm 58, going to be 59 in a few months. State tax, whatever it is. And, that's all bullshit crap, bro. They can all screw themselves with that. Church is in the house. TJ Superman. Humble Legend. Mike McDaniel is eyes without a face. Got no human grace. Your eyes without a face. Gorillas have a song named Clint Eastwood too. Well, John Wayne, not Clint Eastwood, but okay, I get what you're going with the Western stuff. I got you. Tonight I'm going to be John Candy. Yeah, baby. That's me when I pull up to the drive-thru. What else? Andrew says Dolphins have been reported. Yes, we're going to talk about that. We'll get to that, I promise you. Justice, that just came in, so, Justice Maldonado, yes. John Padilla checking in from Livermore, California. What else? True Fin Fan. Thank you, my friend, for the super chat. Says, best show ever, my all-time favorite. You're too kind, too kind, too kind. Kosa says, you're a one-man, well, two-man. You know, we can't do it. Yeah, but I get what you mean. But yes. Iceman says, I'm a podcaster. I'm glad to be part of the fan base. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. I always like to correct people because sometimes, oh, you're a podcaster. Actually, no, I'm not. You know, when you do a radio show, you're not a podcaster. The radio show gets podcasted. You know what I'm saying? This is a live show that gets podcasted. Podcasters pre-record, edit, prepare everything, dress it up. We make our mistakes right here. If there's going to be a technical issue, it'll happen. You know, that's just kind of how it's going to go. If I forgot something, it'll happen. If I screw up, it'll happen right here. You get to see why I'm a human being every day. Not a perfect robot that is edited completely. Let's see, what else do we have? One-Eyed Jack says, you are correct, though, about being above all the podcast stuff. It would be entertaining, though, to watch you put them all in their place, especially about Tua. I don't know. I mean, did you watch when I had a lot of people on? Kind of did that all the time. You know what I'm saying? I did it the other day with the silliness. I love poop, but that's, you know, Tua needs the perfect team. No, dude, Tua just needs what Lamar has. A real coach on the sidelines, a real defense, a real offensive line, a real running game, real tight ends. Give him that. Give him what Tannehill had for like 3-4 years with Derrick Henry, that line and that team, that defense, and that coach. Has Tua ever had that? No. Give him what Kirk Cousins has had over there in Minnesota. Now, who was it? Was it Sam Darnold last year, your quarterback in Minnesota, right? So just has Tua had what Minnesota had when Sam Darnold and Kirk Cousins for the last 3-4 years? Not even close, right? Okay, no, I'm just, because he needs the perfect team. All you get is a fuck up on the sidelines, a defense that can't really play defense, an offensive line that can't block or can't run, but Tua needs a perfect team. But, see, that's the bullshit that goes out there. And you know what, bro? It's just, you kind of get tired of the shtick. No shtick here, bro. I don't need a shtick to try to be I'll be the anti-Tua guy. Well, that take is terrible, bro. That's a terrible take. He's never had anything here that he needs, like he really needs. It's like ridiculous. No, he needs a perfect team. No, dude. He needs what Kansas City has. Offensive line that can block. This year they were pretty bad and they hurt Mahomes, but an offensive line, a running game, a Pacheco, a Hall of Fame tight end, and a defense with Chris Jones in that secondary. I'm sorry, did Tua ever had that combination? No. The Bills, who's got a better line, offensive line? Miami or the Bills? Who's got a better defensive line and defense? The Bills or Miami? Who's got a better head coach? Miami or the Bills? Does Tua have any of that? No. Oh, but he needs a perfect team. No, you idiots. He needs a real team around him. So that's the kind of stuff that, it just, bro, I'm 58. I don't need that shit. I'll just tell you exactly what's going on. I'll give you my opinion. You can agree, you can disagree, you can do whatever you want. I don't care. That's fine by me. Okay? Notice that most people, they don't go after me. They know better. It's a little different. So, I'm not the guy that's going to sit back or whatever, be quiet or whatever. That's not who I am. I'll call your ass out. I don't care who you are. Don't matter to me. I've called everyone out in this business. That's kind of what we do. Okay? So, I need the perfect team. Bro, that's ridiculous. How about getting a team? How about getting a coach? When he had a coach and a team, he had a title. In Spanish, that's called comemierderia. Do you know what comemierderia is? That's comemierderia. So for my Anglo friends out there, please go search for your Spanish friend and maybe just use his video, rewind here, record it. Hey, explain to me what he's saying there. He said a lot of foolishness around too is called comemierderia. And then you could just go ahead and fill in the blanks. What's it called? Definitely makes it look easy. None of us can do it like thank you, Brian. I appreciate that. Very kind. Big O is the original chicken sandwich. No one beats that. Calico. George says, been listening to Big O since he was at 560 and the 10 a.m. show. Awesome. Thank you, George. Too kind. Alexis in. Iceman is in. We love the Iceman. Thank you, Les Jams. Salute to you, sir. Big O, can we please give the Florida Panthers a victory cigar? Well, you damn right we could give them a victory cigar because they put out the hurricane. They made it not even a depression. Okay? It wasn't even a tropical wave. If they were a baseball team, they'd be instructional, bitch. Light it up. Victory cigar. Love it. Good call by you, Oscar. Inter. They needed one of the worst teams in the league to come to town, and since they're a middling team, they come up with a 4-2 win. So the lazy vacationing bastards actually picked up a victory. Give them a cigar. By the way, I drive around and I listen to, radio sometimes. And I'm a commercial guy too. I like to listen to jingles. I remember them and things like I'm not going to mention the company because I just don't want to mention the company. But if you're going to record a commercial, make sure you mention that it's not cigar. It's cigar. Okay? Just saying. Pronunciation. I'm driving around and go check out their cigars. When the hell is it called? The cigar. It's a cigar. Anyway. That company may want to get somebody that writes it cigar. Anyway, Thomas Bocero, South Florida Sports Radio back in the day was gold. Hank, Joe, yeah, thank you, sir. Big O had several people, or he would be straight up, as most wish they could. That's the blessing he has. He holds back nobody. Yeah, that's true. Every time Big O speaks Spanish, reminds me of Radio Acción. Gracias. La ensalada deportiva. I need to practice my Spanish. I never talk Spanish, bro. When I'm in Panama and Costa Rica, hanging out, I'll get to practice it a lot more. When this show in a few years originates from that area constantly, I'll be doing a show and there'll be like a rainforest behind my ass. So be prepared. It's coming. Oh, it's going to happen. Oh, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Chris Esco says, if the Finns GM good considering we don't have the talent the top teams do. Let's see. Daniel says, I've been seeing Big O since Kinlock years hanging out at the Rockers Corner. He's talking about the U-Totem. That's what his ass is talking about. Daniel Amador, the Rockers Corner in Kinlock, what he's talking about, we had a U-Totem right down the street about a block away, and then behind it, there was a wall. And then that was our corner, and we would hang out in that corner and drink. We were tough guys. I was drinking a Coke and an apple Danish. Meanwhile, I remember, what was his name, Daniel? It was the assistant principal that handled what's it called, detention. He was a brother, and we would see him at the Utotem. I've told this story before, right? I think I have over the years. I'm trying to remember his damn name. Anyway, he would buy Budweiser at the end of the day, which was right at the end of school. So he'd go and buy a 6-pack of Bud, and he'd look at us and go, "Kids, Bud makes you wiser." And that stuck with me since 9th grade. I can't remember his name now, but I just don't remember now. I know I remember that the other son of a bitch that was there, because he was actually cool. He would, he wouldn't give you breaks. You'd serve your detention. But the other guy was an asshole. And I remember that he followed me from one school to another. And I went from Miami to Hialeah, and the son of a bitch was there. And I was like, "What are you doing here, bro? Like, you're torturing me." I forgot his name too. He was a Hispanic guy. I really couldn't stand his ass. Okay? I really couldn't. Oh, the Toyota guys he was the one that would paddle you. The one that I was talking about, Bud makes you wiser. He would paddle you. But it's funny. He would paddle you, but he was Montoya. Montoya was the SOB. That was the name of the SOB. Montoya. And then the other guy, I can't remember anyways. But in Kinloch, they had a paddle, and it said Toyota on it, and it had holes drilled in. And then you'd go, and then you'd put your hands on, he'd tell you, put your hands on the table, look at the wall. You look at the wall, he's standing, and he'd go, "You want it? You asked for it? You got it? Wah! Toyota. You want it? You asked for it? You got it? Wah! Toyota." You walked out of there looking at him like, "You ain't got shit on me." And then you walked out, and you were like, "Oh!" Then you cracked. You couldn't crack right there and then. You couldn't crack right there. You couldn't show them that that got to me. And sometimes they really wanted to be sons of bitches. They'd paddle you, and they'd aim for just under your ass. When the ass starts to curve a little bit, Bubba, that shit hurts more. Oh, that hurt. And they know it. They know it. So, yeah. So thank you for the memories, Daniel. I appreciate that. He remembers what? The racist coach? Man, what's his name? I forgot now. Yeah, Bacero, them cats are kicking some ass. I see Brian Landis. It's always your own kind that gives you the most shit. Isn't that true, Anthony? That is true, actually. Montoya was a first-class asshole. Anyway, Sean, give that SOB Montoya a blind-ass fan alert for hating on the big. He hated everybody, bro. But yeah, he got to me. That's for sure. Les Jam says, and now you look at you. Oh, Toyota pays for the program. So true. I got smacked by Toyota, and now I get supported by Toyota. It's kind of what's been going on in Bitcoin, right? 108.7 was like the resistance. We broke through, and now we're hanging out. Resistance has become support, and we're kind of hanging out there, So yeah, the resistance became support. Yeah, like, that's kind of how it works out. All right, let me address the Jonnu Smith situation because Jesus Christ, the texts are coming in, flying in, and by the way, there's only 28 likes. You bastards want me to do things for you. We ask you to do a couple things for us to keep us alive. Visit our sponsors, hit the like button, make a donation, buy a shirt, a hat, something. We ask you to do a couple things. We got 28 and there's 70 people, and there's been a little more than that at times. And there's only 29. What kind of an effort is it to hit the like button? I mean, that's sad. Meanwhile, asking, oh, give me this. And, it's got to be a two-way street sometimes. Anyway, let's get into it. The story, and let me make sure I hold on one second here. Okay. Somebody just sent in something that is exactly what I was going to talk about. Here we go. All right. So Adam Schefter has now reported that the Dolphins have had trade discussions with the Pittsburgh Steelers about their lone Pro Bowl selection last season, tight end Jonnu Smith, per league sources. Those talks came after Smith expressed an interest in reworking his deal that is scheduled to pay him $4.8 million this season. With Smith seeking a new contract, Miami sought a trade partner. Last season, Smith set a franchise record for tight ends in receptions, receiving yards, and touchdowns. Smith's preference, per sources, is to stay in Miami under a reworked deal. Now, one of the things that I've been telling you for a while that I would like to know, Field Yates, by the way, adds that Steelers offensive coordinator Arthur Smith loves Jonnu Smith. He had him as a young player in Tennessee and then again in Atlanta. Okay, so kind of puts one and one together since he's the offensive coordinator over there. I've been telling you this for a while. We've been trying to decide this. We talked about this a while back, and now I think it's coming full circle. Okay, if you follow the show and you listen often, not just, here or there in a set, you try to catch a Dolphin segment. Sometimes he doesn't put everything into segments. So you got to kind of actually listen to the show. We've talked about this, right? I told you that the Mike McDaniel hire did not fit Chris Grier. I don't have any proof of this at all. Not 1 ounce of it. But follow me on this. His dad comes from the Parcells-Belichick tree. His dad's the one that influenced the Tom Brady pick. He started in the Belichick world. His brother is a former hell of a hockey player, not a Hall of Famer, but a hell of a hockey player, and now a GM for the Sharks, I believe, if I'm correct. Okay, so he's a tough guy, been in the business, all that. The first time he gets an opportunity to hire his own coach, he goes back to the Belichick tree and he picks Brian Flores. So he's been a part of just hard asses his entire life. His dad, his brother, that's the environment he's worked under. Those are the people. That's kind of, he's kind of ruthless in a way where he does some of his deals where a 2-year or he'll trade guys, he'll make trades. He kind of is kind of cold-blooded to a certain extent, but he does have a weakness, and he even admitted it that he probably caters too much to his coaches. And maybe he caters too much to the people around him, right? And I told you, I really wonder for a while now, I've told you this, right? I really wonder if Mike McDaniel is his hire. Then comes this offseason. An offseason where we imagine that both of their jobs are on the line. But yet you watch the way they handled this offseason. They didn't mortgage any of the future in money, salary cap space, or picks. In fact, they did the reverse. They were under budget. They even traded a 4th rounder for a future 3rd rounder. They're willing to accommodate Jalen Ramsey, which puts them at a complete disadvantage. I don't know how Mike McDaniel can win this year when the teams he had the last 2 years are way better than this one. I know there's a certain level of you Dolph fans out there that you're blind ass fans, and you have the silliness that you want to hold out hope because any given Sunday, that stupid shit. You ever notice how us Dolphin fans, we play the if game for 40 years? If they can block for Marino, if they can run the ball for Marino, if they can stop the ball for Marino, if Jay Fiedler can complete a few passes. You ever notice that we just play the if game? That's kind of what we do all the time. So we look at this offseason, and they've done everything opposite of trying to win. And I can guarantee you this season's going to suck, dude. I don't give a shit what you tell me. I get it. If you want to convince yourself and lie to yourself and all that, you go ahead and do that, bro. And now today comes that he wants a new deal. They know the locker's polluted. They know people don't want to be coached by this guy. They don't want to go. They don't want to be around this guy. They gave him an extension. Remember what I've told you, what I think is going to happen. They're going to let him sink or swim, and he's probably going to sink, and then they're going to bring in Weaver. That's what they're going to – and then they're going to use the resources they've saved because they have said enough with this guy. We're done using resources for this guy. That's what it looks like to me. So now you're going to take away Jonnu Smith. Oh, by the way, please don't tell some of these critics of Tua because, he needs a perfect team when he has a completely imperfect team every year. And now you're going to take away Jonnu Smith. That's really grand. So you tell me where any of this is dressed up that you're trying to win. Where? Forget those clueless Dolphin fans. They're Colt fans. They're Seattle fans. They're Falcons fans. There's those 35% of that fan base, of every fan base, that they're like hopeless idiots. And they think they're going to win 10, 12 games every year. And if the stars align, and if I get a double rainbow, and if a leprechaun falls at the same time with a 4-leaf clover, we're going to win it all. Okay? That's it. You can't reason with those people. So forget about that. They paint their faces. They are fanatics. Because they are so entrenched, they will not actually tell the truth. Oh, no, dude. No, we're going to win. I've spent a bunch of money on club seats. Okay, bro. Okay, you go ahead. They're not trying to win. So if you're not trying to win, then why would you keep the coach around? That's because this is a transition year. Did I not do that segment that this is a transition year? It's up. I'm convinced that they have left Mike McDaniel out to sink or swim. And there's no doubt that he ends up like Leonardo DiCaprio, just drifting into the water like the Titanic. Okay, that's what's going to happen. And Weaver's going to be on the door swimming away. Okay? So that's what's going to happen here because there's no way this is about winning. And if you haven't picked that up yet, I can't help you, man. Just like if you haven't picked this up, I can't help you, bro. Can't help you. In 2020, till now, the dollar's lost 25%. Since January 1st of 2025, the dollar's lost 6%. Bitcoin, January of 2020, was $8,000. 5 years later, $108,000. So I can only give you the message after I have broken it all down and look at what I think is happening with money or with the Dolphins. Okay? My track record's pretty good. I'm just saying. So if you think that this is about winning, you're all wrong. You are all wrong. Just like if you think it's about the dollar, you're all wrong. Don't forget, folks, our friends at Welton Rayom, they can take care of you. 954-966-4646. 2 lawyers that are like book and tackles. They crush Progressive for me. A lot of our listeners have been using Welton Rayom over the years. Some of our listeners on the West Coast after a couple of those storms. All the laws, the new laws, they favor the insurance companies, not us. The most important thing you do is hire the right lawyers. 954-966-4646 for Welt and Rayom. All right, baby. We are here at Hialeah Park. The fantastic, the famous, the amazing Steve Calabro is in the house. I'll get back to more. I got a bunch of other Dolphins talk that I want to get to because the Dolphins have a disease called Tyreek Hill. But there's a way to minimize the disease this year, and I'm going to tell you how it is this year. There is. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Yes, sir.
Big
yes.
O, well done.
Thank you.
I think you're one of the few media members that are calling it like you see it in terms of the Dolphins' effort. I mean,
it's who I am for 35 years, bro.
I got to tell you,
everything they're doing is not about winning.
The statement you just said about this whole Jonah trade, potential trade, it's not about money. I mean, come on. It is.
They're not spending any money.
You're talking about peanuts here. To make this be all right and for the betterment of the team, improving the team, it's peanuts. It's peanuts.
And with that owner, it's shells of peanuts.
Yes. It might be like he can find more in his couch in the crease of his couch.
A new contract? Give him a 3-year deal. Let's go. Let's rock and roll that kid. Yeah. Let's go.
I mean, it's a shame though. So that being said, I applaud you for your your analysis of what's going on with the Dolphin organization. But it is frustrating as hell as a Dolphin fan.
I've gone through the last 40 years. Trust me, I know.
But I mean, this is the current time. The last. It seems like they're
incompetence is incompetence. It doesn't matter.
They seem to be on the cheap too.
No, it's not the cheap. It's we're done with this guy.
So
we've used up all our resources. We gave the idiot an extension. All right, we're going to look really stupid if we fire him after giving him the extension.
Let him bury.
Players already wanted out. They've already left us. Calais left. Holland wanted no part of us anyway, even though he was leaving. Jalen Ramsey wants out. All that. Tyreek. You have dissension all over the place. Reggie McKenzie left to Tennessee to retire. A team. He's going to be a consultant for a team that is rebuilding.
That has at least 2-3 years before they show anything good.
If you had a chance to be a championship team, do you think Reggie leaves? Of course not. So everything has been, you traded your 4th rounder this year for a 3rd rounder next year. Like you needed the 4th. You didn't spend anything in free agency outside of Daniels the guard, and that really didn't break the bank or anything. Guards that you really want in this league were $20 million, not like 7 or 9 or whatever you paid them. So you did nothing to really win. Now, I love the draft, but that's foundational. You can't say, oh, well, if we hit on all our picks and we find 3 people in street free agency and we sign 2 other street veterans and we're going to beat the Bills. We'll beat the Bills. It's like, come on, dude. It's like, and if you're honest with yourself, as much as you love them, as much as I love them, as much as I want them to win, bro, I'm running out of time, man. I'm 58. I'm going to be 59 October 1st. I'm running out of goddamn time, dude. Come on. So I want them to win, but I'm not going to – I don't bullshit people, bro. I don't do that here. I'm not doing it just so I could get more clicks and views to try to keep you on the hopium. Not doing that, bro. We're not sending you up to the Carter in the Enterprise. Sorry. That's a New Jack City reference.
A cart sending you up in the Carter.
The Carter is the hotel. Did you ever watch New Jack City?
No.
Okay, Wesley Snipes. Yeah, you're gonna
Didn't
have to watch it.
Then watch it.
Huh? No, that's in the Bronx.
It was close. It wasn't in Jersey, so I wouldn't watch it.
Yeah,
did I tell you I'm from New Jersey? Yeah, I was just in New Jersey.
You were.
Weekend. It was cold. Yeah,
you showered.
I have the lingering of the smell.
Showered.
Still there. Yeah.
Showered.
Well,
okay.
Yeah. In Jersey, it doesn't matter. You don't have to shower because
no, everybody smells bad in
Jersey.
Jersey.
It smells outside. The pollution.
Right, that's it.
You know,
You just walk out and
all this EPA stuff in New Jersey, right?
Yeah.
It
Here
stinks
you
out
shower and you sweat. There you shower and you stink.
Yeah.
It's a funk.
Listen, I went fishing in New Jersey, right? Flounder fishing. It's the season, right?
Flounder?
Oh, yeah, flounder.
That should be our logo here for the Dolphins.
That should be. Yeah, we should get rid of the dolphin and go with flounder. Yeah.
That should be our logo.
It was freezing cold. We cut this trip short because it was too cold. The water temperature was 54 degrees.
Yeah, there's no shot.
54. I mean,
no shot.
The fish were burying themselves in the mud.
That's Costanza shrinking right there if I've ever seen
shrinkage. You jump in there, you're inverted.
Yes.
At that point, you talk about it's beyond shrinkage.
That is Costanza shrinkage. There's no
but
doubt about that.
But it was Memorial Day weekend, blah blah blah. You got to be in New Jersey, and it was freezing cold. Freezing cold, like it was nuts. It was.
I used to visit my cousins every summer. I've told you in Passaic, and we drive out to the damn beach. It was like an hour, and then I remember the first time I ever did it.
It's cold. That water, you're stepping that cold. And
if they didn't tell me shit, and so I was like, I'm like, I think I was like 10 or 11 or something like that. Yeah, something like that. 10 or 11. It's like 76. So they don't tell me, and I just take off my shirt and I go running like I always do in Miami and dive. And brother, I dive, and I was like, whoa! And I just jump out of the damn water, man. I was like, holy crap. And they were all laughing at my ass. And
it was cold. Well, it was cold. Now it gets end of June, it starts to warm up.
Yeah, what's warm up for you guys?
No,
Are
80,
you kidding me?
80, over 80.
I don't 80. Even think it gets there.
No, it'll get to 80, maybe. It gets to 80. It gets to 80.
I've been there in the summer, and it is cold, bro.
It's June, May, forget it, Memorial Day weekend. And you know what's amazing? What's amazing in New Jersey? Labor Day weekend will happen. The kids in New Jersey go back to school the Tuesday after Labor Day, right? Like about 5 days later, it gets cold. It's like God knows. Okay, now we got to make New Jersey cold. Like August was pretty comfortable, warm. You could kind of go to the beach and on the boat. Like 5 days after Labor Day, freezing.
Right.
It's like not freezing, but cold. Like uncomfortable cold. Then you get a couple warm days, and you got to hope that you're off that day.
Yeah.
But Jersey's fun.
Yeah.
It wasn't as fun this weekend because it was a little cold. Although my stepdaughter got engaged.
Yes.
Another one. I got 3 engagements. My son got engaged in December. I'm going to announce. This is my day of announcements, and I'll leave you with it. My son gets engaged. He got engaged in December to a beautiful girl, Andalyn. But no date,
Interesting name too.
Andalyn. Yeah, she's from Utah.
Okay.
An ex-Mormon, I may add.
All right.
My son has little to do with the ex part of ex-Mormon, but at any rate, they're a great couple, two beautiful people. My stepdaughter got engaged this past weekend to a guy, nice guy, Nikolai, state policeman from New Jersey, great guy. Yeah, took us to that Jet game, right? Nice guy. Although he's Dominican, doesn't really speak Spanish. I don't know what that's all about.
Oh, you've been to Tampa?
Well,
there's a bunch of Latins in Tampa that don't speak Spanish either.
He grew up
we had a governor
in a non-Latino community.
If I remember correctly, we had a governor named Martinez from Tampa. Dude didn't speak a lick of Spanish.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, but it's all right. But
I once wanted to interview, and he then learned Spanish. But I'll give you when I was starting in radio back in the early 90s, this was like 91. I was on a Spanish station, somebody just mentioned, on Radio Acción. And so I wanted to, is it Montoya, the Cincinnati tackle for many years? Is it Montoya or something like that?
Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like a legend, like a hell of a player. He's Mexican.
And then speak Spanish.
So I go, oh, dude, this is one of the guys I can actually go interview with in the NFL.
Actually
for
speak, get
Right.
heart to heart with
so
him.
I reach out to the media relations. I'm pumped up. I go, man, there's very few like have that Hispanic background, and he's got to know. And they go, well, he doesn't speak Spanish. He's not very comfortable. I'm like, oh shit. You know,
No, but
and it was like, oh man.
But
No,
Nick-
you know what? I'm getting that assistant principal. It's not Montoya. It's no, not Mac. Is it Max Montoya? No, it's not Max Montoya.
I thought he was Hawaiian.
No,
that guy.
no, Anthony Munoz. Thank you,
Munoz.
Thank you.
Anthony Munoz. So,
Munoz.
Montoya.
Anyways.
Munoz.
Yes, it's you got the Munoz. Cunha. I gotta throw that in there. That's who I was. Anthony Munoz is like he's
Then
a Hall
speak
of
a stitch of
Famer.
Spanish.
And then in the early 90s,
Wow.
I was told that he then started to learn and now he knows some Spanish. But in those days, he was so uncomfortable with his Spanish that he would never do an interview.
Anyhow, Nico's a great guy. And my stepdaughter Dana. Now I have a third one I'm going to announce. Hasn't even occurred yet.
What's that?
I'm going to announce it. My stepson is told my wife already. He's gonna, pop the question. Beautiful girl. She graduated from nursery school. I went to that.
Oh, that's where you were the
a couple weeks ago. Latino family. They speak Spanish. They do speak Spanish. Okay. So and so that's 3 engagements. Well, the one hasn't happened yet. But I'm announcing. I hope his future fiance isn't watching the show. He can watch the show, but not the future fiance. He's with the family. Yeah, good people, very nice people. She has a great sister. Sister's got a personality, gigantic personality. Anyhow, that being said, since I'm making all these announcements, I'm announcing things that have happened and are going to happen.
Like giving away $50,000 of gold this Saturday.
This Saturday, 50,000. It did happen, and it's going to happen.
Right.
It's
Last
gonna happen.
Saturday, they gave away $50,000 of gold.
And
this Saturday, they will give away another $50,000 of gold. And if you come on down and you win it, get Bitcoin. No, but seriously, the slots are as loose as they get, and you get entries every time you play. And you have to be here in person Saturday at 1 a.m. Okay? And because not everybody comes, you actually have a really good chance of winning, believe it or not.
So we had so much fun giving away 50,000. We're going to do it again. But I had another thing. I got to leave you with this. Last week, I kind of did a little teaser. I said, hey, I'm going to announce something next week.
I know what it is. Oh, that's right.
You've heard it on the street. You're on the street hearing about it? Downstairs.
Yes. It's parked.
No. That's no. He's talking about the beautiful Jeep that is parked downstairs.
Yeah, it is.
Which we're giving away on the last weekend of June.
How many things are you giving away, bro?
Well, wait, I got to do my announcement.
Giving a ton of shit away here.
Since we're talking about engagements and marriages, we're gonna marry 2 amazing Miami-Dade brands.
Oh.
2 amazing brands. The Hialeah Park is a brand,
right?
Of itself.
Obviously,
we all know the Hialeah Park brand.
Legendary.
And if you've spent any time in Miami-Dade, particularly Hialeah, but in all other parts of Miami-Dade,
right. You mentioned the last.
Our restaurant starting. It's planned to open on July 1. It's going to be a Vicky Bakery.
Oh, we did mention.
That's why I was walking away when you started to guess it right. I had to walk away. Right? You guys are a little bit a week ahead of me. I get it. I gave too many hints.
On this show, we can read through the trees.
I know. I gave way too many hints.
We do this all the. Yeah. We read through the trees of everything in life on this show.
Listen, it's a franchise. We have a franchisee that's going to bring that bakery.
Go back to the video from last week. At the end of it, you'll see that we threw out the Vicky Bakery, and we got a reaction from him.
I had to walk the other. I had to turn around. But so it should open in July. It's going to be a Vicky Bakery and luncheonette and cafe type of thing.
That's some dangerous shit, bro.
And talking
some
about
dangerous shit now.
Listen, those pastelitos, those empanadas, those croquetas.
Oh my God!
You know, they have bowls, they have sandwiches, they have the whole 9 yards. It's going to be.
That's why you could come on down and play the machines and have a little Vicky Bakery.
July 1. July 1
1st.
should be opening right around July. July 1. That's the you got to get all the approvals, but
anyways, by the way, we still have a bunch of restaurants down here. Anyways,
fantastic food, and we have food right here at the poker tables.
Yeah,
But,
the poker tables, the ladies will bring you food and drinks.
But
Pretty
it's
cool.
The family that owns Vicky Bakery, super excited, like off
That's awesome.
the charts, super excited.
They're good people,
great people, and they're excited. Everybody,
it's a great
in our
company, man.
organization-
They've done a marvelous job of the way they've grown in this town.
and they're already growing in Palm Beach County,
everywhere.
They're up in St. Lucie County now. They're in they got like 40 locations. Really,
if
really,
you do it
really
right,
fast.
you'll be fine, dude.
A classy
I have
operation.
one right in the corner of my house. We go to it all the time.
Yeah, it's a classy operation, and
they do a good job.
But so we're excited. Now, I have a sweet tooth. So
who doesn't?
So then, they showed me how, I had to do a taste test. I tell you what, they have a pastelito with flan inside. Pastelito with flan.
Wow.
Pretty good. I'm a con queso, or maybe
I'm a straight guava
guy. You're a guava guy?
I love guava.
I like guava with, con queso.
And I'm kind of picky because I always look for the one that doesn't have too much guava.
Oh, you have your guava
limit.
Yeah, guava
limit.
Sort of.
Like when it's like super loaded, it's like, it's a little too much.
No, it's going to be a great thing.
Bob Martinez, that's the guy, Rosendo. That dude didn't speak a lick of Spanish. and he's one of those Cuban Tampa Cubans from a long time. Because remember, there was a group that came in the early 40s and 50s, and then they established all that.
Yeah, so they're second, third generation.
And then
now.
became second generation, so they became Americanized.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
I just want to make some announcements.
Good stuff. I
a lot of
appreciate
marriages going on here. We got engagements. We got Vicky and Hialeah Park. The Bernetti ownership is super happy to welcome them to our fold. It's going to be all great.
And we have the $100 no regret first bet.
Sports betting.
Right there, you see the QR code. We've got the Panthers in and I looked it up. I couldn't look it up last night when I was doing the post-game show on the Hialeah app. Because I had my VPN on last night, and I can't open up my app with the VPN. I have to have it off, so I have to reset the phone and all that shit. So I looked it up. I bet on the Panthers to win the Stanley Cup.
Okay.
I got it plus 1,000.
What's it now?
On June 24th.
Last year?
Yeah.
Last year.
Like fresh after the parade.
No, but what is it now?
Like we hadn't even gotten Jones or Marshawn
or just high on the parade.
We were losing guys. We were in the middle of Montour's leaving and this guy, and I'm like, get the hell plus 1,000. Bring it on, baby.
Wow.
Bring it on. Plus 1,000. I thought it was. I said yesterday I thought it was plus 800 on the show. Plus 1,000, and on June 24th at 8 p.m. is what the betting receipt says that I did it.
Wow, that's a hell of a bet. And you didn't share that. He didn't share that with us. You share it with us?
I shared it.
Oh, come on now. You didn't tell me.
Said
you
I
didn't
took
tell me. It was probably 6 months.
But
you probably told me 3 months later.
But I
4
said
months
it
later.
like late. I said it like 6 months ago.
He was holding on to the odds. He didn't want the odds to go down.
Listen, I've given you the best
108
advice ever.
108,000. It's unbelievable. Really was.
You weren't believing me when we were at 40 and 45.
I was in denial for a year, which cost me a lot. To me, I'm going to make money. But
you do know, you're not going to believe me, right? But you do know that we tend to 15x from here within by 2030.
I'm not denying it now. I'm not a denier.
I'm not a financial advisor, so just in case you're walking around, it's too late now. Well, I don't know, bro. If you can buy, let's say you can't buy one because most of us cannot buy one. Okay, 108. But let's say you could buy 10% of it. Okay, so that would be $10,800. So if you can do that, and then that 15x's, that's
$1.50. $1.50, not bad. Buy a nice boat with that.
Pay off half your house or something, or a third of it or something, a nice chunk.
Oh,
you know,
pay off all my house.
Yeah, well,
I don't know your
definitely.
house. You got a big house.
No, but
This
I'm
guy's
just
got a
saying.
big house, I
I'm
guess.
just
I don't
saying.
know.
I'm saying. Well, that's the servant's house is what they can pay off. But anyway, no. But I'm serious. Your kids' college fund, weddings.
My kids are old. My kids. I'm going to spend it on.
No,
days.
but
I got weddings.
I say this all. I say
I
this
got all
all
kinds of weddings.
What if you're a young couple that's just getting married?
Forget it. You're done. How are you going to buy a house?
Exactly.
How the hell are you going to buy a house?
I know how you're going to buy a house.
Bitcoin.
Bingo.
Put 50,000.
You put 50
Bitcoin
and then you rent your apartment 5 years from now.
Yeah, you go buy your house.
You go buy your house.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you're going to have to do that. Yeah, because you're not.
Well, no, that's if you're smart, you'll do that.
Yeah, and
if you're a father and you've got 3 kids that they're going to grow up, they're going to need an education. Some of them may get married, whatever, all that. You buy a little Bitcoin now. When they're 18, I did it. I wish I would have been Bitcoin. When my daughter was in the womb, we started the Florida College Fund.
Yeah, well,
and you pay that every month.
Yeah,
till she
gets in college,
till they graduate.
Yeah.
So I could have bought Bitcoin for 17 years. I know it's been around 16, but my point is, if I would have bought it from the beginning, can you imagine where I would be now? I wouldn't even be doing this show.
You'd be on an island.
Yeah,
on an island.
I'd own an island. Own a damn island. But that's my point. It's just something that everybody thinks, oh, I'm too late. It's 50. Oh, I'm too late. It's 75. I'm too late. It's 100. No, and then it's $1 million, and you're going to go, bro, I had all these chances.
Forget about the 10 and 15 time X, right? There's a pretty decent probability that 108 is going to look like 200,000
easily.
I mean, I don't know what time frame. Maybe it's a year. Maybe it's 6 months. Maybe it's 2 years. Maybe it's 4 years. I don't know.
Easily within this year.
If you have a little time, it's not a bad return.
I know.
You know, it's not a bad. It's a pretty damn good return. But anyhow, I just wanted to drop off the marriage and engagement announcements.
Did you bring that other thing, by the way?
I didn't. I haven't been able to bring it
week.
down. I will.
Okay.
I'm not going to go there till June 9th.
Okay.
So at any rate, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Gold bars this Saturday.
Gold bars, 1 a.m.
Adios.
this Saturday. Saturday night, 1 a.m. It's like Sunday, but it's really Saturday night, 1 a.m. So come on out here and join us. And use that QR code so you can get your $100 no-regret first bet. There we go. By the way, your boating friend, True Fin Fan, says, guys, I'm going to be a grandfather to a baby boy. How about that? True Fin Fan, congratulations.
Fin Fan, congrats. Make sure you teach him how to be a good boater.
Yes.
A good boater.
Oh, automatically
a
in that
Dolphin
family.
fan. I'm sure these are two things that are on the top of your head here.
No, True Fin Fan, don't do that because then you're going to be charged with child abuse. You know.
Boy, he goes.
I mean, at this point now, any parent that makes their child a Dolphins fan, you should be arrested for child abuse.
Unfortunately, I think he might be onto something. I think
just-
you're onto something. I hope that Ross and McDaniel and Greer are listening. Maybe we should just send them a little.
I'm just saying.
Just please on this broadcast, we need to just download it and send them an email to the guys.
Send it to them. I'm calling child services on your ass if you make them.
Go get them, Fin Fan. Adios.
All right. Anyway, thank you, sir. Be good, Steve. The great Steve Calabro. Yeah. Love it. All right. And thank you, True Fin Fan. Remember, folks, you can make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation. Let's see. Adam Pinkser. Thank you, sir, for the love on Venmo. Oh, I don't care what sport it is. Making the championship series 3 years in a row is a hell of a feat. Let's soak it up. Time to hunt. I'm with you, dude. It is ridiculous to be able, and that's what I was talking about yesterday, that it is awesome to make it 3 in a row. And the beauty is we're spoiled down here. The Dolphins made it 3 in a row. The Miami Heat made it 4 in a row, 1-2. And now we've got the Panthers making it 3 in a row. And the requirement is that you win at least 2 of them. So they got to win this year. So I'm with you. Brian Radke, Thank you, my friend, for the love on Cash App. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's how we keep going. Thank you, sir. He says to have a great day. Appreciate you, my friend. Thank you. Remember, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. And you can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, or Solana donation too on Venmo also, which we always love that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The market, by the way, is up 117 points. The S&P is up 23 points, and the NASDAQ is almost up a point today. Bitcoin, it is down right now. Where is it at right now? It was like at about 106, I think, is where it was. 105, no, 106.1. I love it. Those are the lettuce hands selling because of the whole tariff thing now that, Congress is going to, they should take over because obviously that's how it was set. But, Trumper's going to try again with other options to try to impose the tariffs and all that kind of stuff. So all these people that buy and sell by every word that is said is ridiculous. It really is. Just keep buying the dips and take advantage. And that's what it is now. A dip, take advantage. Take advantage. What else do we have here? Florida team 6 years in a row. That's crazy, dude. Mowing the yard, jamming a Big O. Thank you, Big Johnson. Appreciate it. All Miami says Dolphins are done with this current core. Tua is soft, doesn't have any dogs in him, and isn't capable of carrying a team on his back like a true superstar. It's always good to have stupid people chime in, like all Miami. It's always good because it kind of then it allows us to reflect and know that we're normal and we have intelligence. And then when we see the people that lack all intelligence and they expose themselves with it, like all Miami, it's awesome. It's awesome, because, Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson carry them to titles all the time. But that's how stupid people respond. They do things like that. Let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar. We start off with Alan Blanco, of course. If you're looking for custom printing and embroidery for your company or corporation, your school, your entity, whatever it is, the entity. Ooh, is the entity looking for it? 786-618-1443. Panthers defeat the Hurricanes 5-3, win the series 4-1, advance to the third straight Stanley Cup Finals. It is 6 straight trips to the playoffs, 3 straight trips to the finals, and looking for their second straight Stanley Cup title. Barkov had 2 assists. Bob had 20 saves. Bennett had a goal and assist. Kachuk had a goal and assist. Absolutely awesome. They await the winner of the Oilers Stars, which tonight is game 5. Oilers are winning 3-1. We are rooting for the Stars tonight in a big-time way. We need this series to last 7 freaking games, okay? Thunder over the T-Wolves last night, 124-94. Thunder win the series 4-1. They advance to the NBA Finals. They will take on the Indiana Pacers, who will probably eliminate the Knicks tonight. I'm having a little fun with that. But anyway, 124-94, SGA with 34 points. Ant-Man completely choked in this series. Bad series for Ant-Man here. Tonight, 8 o'clock, we'll see if the Knicks can stay alive. They're favored by 4. Over and under is 223.5. Indy leading 3-1. Last night, Inter Miami, the panacea for the struggles. You're a mediocre team. What do you need to play? A really bad team. That's what came to town. Montreal. They won 4-2. Messi and Suarez with 2 goals each. The old farts will try to get up off the ground one more time at 7:30 on Saturday against Columbus at Chase Stadium. And reports in the NFL. According to Adam Schefter, the Miami Dolphins have spoken to the Pittsburgh Steelers about a possible trade for Jonnu Smith after Smith asked to get a new contract, considering the Dolphins are in a shitty situation. I added that part. That is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. And again, I will not elaborate on this because I don't want to ruin it for anybody. But I just want to say it ahead of time. If you ever need to capture the entity again, Matthew Tkachuk has the hands for it. I will leave it at that. That's it. I used that line on Jeff Welt and Daniel Rayom today, and they looked at me like the RCA dog. What are you talking about? And if you don't know about one thing, you won't know about the other. And you won't be able to put it together. But if you know about it, you're going to kind of get a smirk out of it and kind of laugh if you know what Tkachuk is and what I was talking about. What Tkachuk did when he scored that goal off of Ekblad. Okay? That's all. So, Diego goes, you hearing this Jonnu Smith BS? You may want to rewind, Diego. Knowing Greer, they will give Jonnu more money and he will stay in Miami. No, apparently he wanted more money and they explored a trade. I'm telling you, this isn't about winning, dude. They're not trying to win. And you guys can buy it if you want, but that's, So, what else do we have? Greer is preparing the grounds for the next head coach, which is, of course, Weaver. That is what I think is happening. They're just going to let Mike McDaniel sink because he will sink automatically because he's bad. So, it is what it is. Let me do music first before I get into my final two Dolphin topics that I want to express. Let me get the music side out of it. Let's get to a little music. Why don't we? Because I love talking about musica. Let's start off with birthdays, musicians celebrating birthdays on the 29th. Melanie Brown. Fine. Mel B from the Spice Girls, born in 75. Noel Gallagher, first class asshole, but great talent, born in 67 on this date from Oasis. Blaze Bayley, the bogus singer Iron Maiden used when Bruce Dickinson left, born in 63. Let's see. David Palmer from ABC, born in 61. Mel Gaynor, drummer with Simple Minds, born in 59. LaToya Jackson, born in 56. Pretty much zero talent. Except the Playboy spread? I don't know. Mike Porcaro, one of the three brothers from the Toto band of the Porcaro Brothers, born in 55. He was the bassist. Let's see. Who else? Mars Williams, saxophonist with the Waitresses. I know what girls like. I know what guys want. I know what girls like. Girls like. Girls like you. Let's see. What else do we have here? And that's about it for musicians. Let's go with folks celebrating other famous folks celebrating birthdays today. If I don't say the age, that means they have passed away. King Charles II of England, born in 1630. Obviously. Bob Hope, comedian, born in 1903 on this date. John F. Kennedy, our 35th president, born in 1917. Daniel Elfman from Oingo Boingo, born in 53. He is 72. It's a dead man's party. Come on, who can ask for more? Everybody's coming. Leave your body at the door. Let's see who else. Ted Levine, actor, born in 57. He's 68. Annette Bening, born in 58. She's 67. Melissa Etheridge, born in 61. God bless her, cancer survivor. She's 64. Lisa Welch, my favorite. See, here's my problem with this. Everybody has her in Facts of Life, which, of course, that's where almost everybody pretty much everybody knows Lisa Welcho from. Born in 63, she's 62 today. So she is 3 years older than I am. I fell in love with Lisa Welcho when I was in elementary. I used to run home after school, make sure I caught the new Mickey Mouse Club, and she was on it. Before she did Facts of Life, she was on the new Mickey Mouse Club. So I was and she had short hair in those days. She didn't even have the long hair or anything like that. She doesn't look nearly as good as a child as she did as a teenager, young adult, after Facts of Life, which of course then she fully developed, and I was very happy as a growing man. But I was a Lisa Welcho fan back in the new Mickey Mouse Club, especially on Wednesdays when they had surprise day. Anything can happen, and it usually does. Let's see, who else do we have here? The shit I remember. Daniel Tosh, the comedian and also a sorry Dolphins fan like you and me. Born in 75, he is 50 today. Who else? Carmelo Hogman Anthony. Born in 84, he is 41. And Paul Skeens, the pitcher, born in 2002, he is 23. He's doing pretty well for himself, huh? On and off the field. Isn't like Olivia Dunn or whatever, isn't that LSU gymnast, that smoking hot gymnast, isn't that like his girlfriend? Something like that? Put Paul Skeens' girlfriend. I think is it Olivia Dunn, Dunne, I believe? He's done very well for himself, I got to say. That's it. Now we've got to go with you now with Wrestlers. It is Olivia? Yeah, there you go. I got a lot of useless information in my head. I don't know why. Why it gathers in there and it just files in there and it just sits there, I have no idea. None whatsoever. But you, sir, do you have any wrestlers today?
Yeah, quite a list here. Brian Kendrick turns 46. Hornswoggle is 39. Josh Alexander is 38. Konosuke Takeshita turns 30.
Gesundheit.
Nia Jax is 41. Pete Gas is 55. Ridge Holland turns 37. Samu turns 62. Steve Carino is 52. And Zach Knight is 34 on May 29th, 2025.
All right. There you go. I like it. All right, let's get to a little music history. Why don't we? In 65 on this date, the Beach Boys began a 2-week run on the top of the singles charts with Help Me Rhonda, Help Me Rhonda. In 2003, Black Crowes guitarist Rich Robinson's new band, Hookah Brown, called it quits a mere 6 months after their first show. Robinson said of the decision, "Sometimes life gets in the way of people being able to make music together." In 69, Crosby, Stills, and Nash released their self-titled album. In 71, the Rolling Stones started a 2-week run at #1 on the singles charts with Brown Sugar. It was the band's 6th #1 and a song they will no longer do live because of the references to brown sugar. It's interesting how we've had that now, huh? Because of our society, our, what's that called? When they shut you out, the cancel culture society. Let's see, Elvis Costello won't do Oliver's Army, okay, because of the white N-word. Rolling Stones won't do Brown Sugar because of the references to what the brown sugar means. Pat Benatar will not do Hell is for Children because of the whole child abuse thing and all that. And so we have a very sensitive society. And so you can't do any of that. So there's probably a few other bands that have certain songs that have some language, some insinuations, things like that they're saying, these are places that we can't go to anymore, unfortunately. But that's the reality. In 91, just after completing the recording of their album Nevermind, Nirvana played a last-minute show at LA's Jabba Gotcha. Among the crowd were Iggy Pop as well as Dave Grohl's girlfriend, L7 bassist Jennifer Finch, who brought along her best friend. I don't talk about her. In 99, skeletal remains were found by photographers looking for old car wrecks to shoot at the bottom of the Decker Canyon near Malibu, California. Forensic evidence would later prove the remains were former Iron Butterfly bassist Philip Kramer, who disappeared 4 years earlier. His death was ruled as a probable suicide. In 2003, Stain topped the album charts with 14 Shades of Grey. In 2001, the Eagles made their first ever visit to Russia, appearing at Moscow's SC Olimsky. And that's what happened in rock history. There you go. How about that? By the way, that's some balls I had, huh? Making a bet for the Panthers to win it all June 24th. Is it really? Is it really? Why can't I feel confident about that? I should be able to, bro. I should be able to. It's a thing. By the way, Subaru of Pembroke Pines, a proud sponsor of our program. Go see Eric Stampone, sales manager out there. Alan, the general manager, overlooking everything, making sure it's all smooth. The selection is awesome. Okay, so if you're looking for a Subaru, which it's an incredibly reliable vehicle, the customer ratings are through the roof. Go check it out, 16100 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines. Tell them that I sent you. Use the QR code. Use my name, and you will get $500 off the purchase of your next Subaru. So there you go. So check it out at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Big O, the present feels like they're preparing for the next era. Am I wrong? If I'm right, could this actually be the beginning of another rebuild? Yeah, I think so. That's what I've been telling you. So I've been telling you about that. What else do we have? Cutler Bay is getting a Flanagan's. All right. Good for you guys. Nothing wrong with getting a little Flanagan's action. I came to know her case of facts. Yeah, Alexis. 99.999999999% of the people got to know Lisa Welcho in Facts of Life. I am the only weirdo that knew her from the Mickey Mouse Club, from the new Mickey Mouse Club. I'm the only weirdo that knew her from that show. Okay? Only one. By the way, the blonde girl that was there also, but like on the side, she was also in the Mickey Mouse Club. And she's the one that was she the one that was in Little Darlings? Not exactly sure, maybe. I think she might have also been in, because the one in Little Darlings is the one, the redhead from Sex and the City. So there you go. Anyway, is what it is. I get to my. I'm going to tell you now how Miami can save themselves from Tyreek. It's going to be hard, but it's possible. Kind of. Anyway, I want to mention something that's going on in the NBA playoffs because we talk about stars all the time, right? And whether Bam's a star, whether Tyler's a star, and obviously in my book, those guys aren't even close to being stars. They're not franchise type players. And franchise type players have to perform at a high level in the game's most important moments. And I have immense respect for Ant-Man's talent and what he's done. He failed. He choked in the Western Conference Finals. He played like shit. Even last night, 19 points on 7 of 18 shooting, 1 of 7 from three-point range. He had 6 rebounds, 2 assists, and 3 turnovers. Sorry, dude. Sorry. That's disgraceful. You're the superstar. You're the face of the team. You need to take over the damn game. You need to have taken over that series. SGA, he played like a real star. He played like a franchise player. He played like a superstar that you're supposed to be. SGA stepped onto the big stage and passed it with aces. Tyrese Halliburton. You want to go over what a real star does when the game is on the line? 32 points, 11 of 23 shooting, 5 of 12 from three-point range, 12 rebounds, 15 assists, 4 steals, and 0. Let me repeat that. 0 turnovers. Tyrese Halliburton and SGA played like superstars. The Ant-Man got small. It's not the time to go literal, by the way, my man. Not the time. I know your name is Ant-Man, but it's not the time to get small. And that's exactly what happened with Ant-Man. And now you go, oh, well, I got to go back in the lab. I got to work. I got to come back with it. We're like, well, do you even know you're going to get back to the stage again? And by the way you played, why would they get back there? You play with the swag, you carry yourself with the swag, and yet when you had to kind of go out there, you became Ant-Man. Tyrese Halliburton will do the choke sign in Madison Square Garden and still finish the game off and then take a 3-1 lead with everything on the line for the Knicks and put up a triple-double with 0 turnovers and 5 steals. That's a superstar, dude. And that's what they're paying Ant-Man to be. So I would bury his ass here in Miami if he did that shit. He needs to be criticized severely. You can't talk the shit he talks and not walk it. If you're going to talk it, you better walk it. Tyrese Halliburton, he talks. SGA doesn't even talk. He's like, he blends in with the wallpaper. His commercials are louder than the way he carries himself. He's like a calm, cool, collective dude that just goes about his business, doesn't he? And he plays like a superstar, bro. He plays like a freaking superstar. Tyrese Halliburton, superstar. I would not be surprised if not that the Pacers should win or they might lose, but I would be shocked if Tyrese Halliburton had a shitty game, like a choking game. I bet you he'll play his ass off tonight. Like he has the entire playoff run so far. He has elevated himself to be one of the game's best players. And that triple-double the other night was legendary. Wait for it, legendary. Do it in honor of Barney. I'm just saying, you want the money, you want the fame, you want the smoke. Well, here's the smoke. Ant-Man, bro, that was disgraceful. That was embarrassing, dude. In fact, I never thought a dude like you that has like that serious swag and it looks like you have, he looks like one of those guys that confidence just oozes out of his body, that like he doesn't think that he can't do anything. One of those, like he's the, I would treat him like he is the Tom Cruise of the NBA. You know what I'm saying? That Tom Cruise thinks he's going to do everything. And he does, by the way. In the last movie, way too much, but he does. That's for another day. Just saying, dude. Halliburton, SGA, they played like real stars. Ant-Man punked out completely, bro. He shrunk. All right. Did you ever watch the movie St. Elmo's Fire? You've watched it. You guys watch St. Elmo's Fire out there? Anybody? You older people? Anybody? St. Elmo's Fire? You guys know? Rob Lowe had a very interesting role in St. Elmo's Fire. You remember when he was trying to find a job? And then he goes back to his old frat. He wants a job, and he says, "Yeah, we're gonna." He says, we can hire you, bro. We need somebody to get us good drugs. Remember that scene? Is that why the Patriots hired Stephon Diggs? Just wondering. I mean, I saw the boat action. I saw the pink powder. Everybody knows that pink cocaine is the thing now, right? That pink cocaine is everywhere. What'd you think that was? Rock candy or something? So Vrabel goes, "Oh, yeah, no, Stephon, yeah, come on over. We're going to need somebody to get us good drugs." So as Tom Cruise, as I thought Ant-Man was the Tom Cruise of the NBA, Stephon Diggs is definitely the Rob Lowe of the New England Patriots. St. Patriots Fire. New movie coming out. St. Patriots Fire. Okay? Stephon Diggs plays the sax, does a lot of cocaine, and sells it. It's a beautiful thing. I wonder if pink now will be a new color for the Patriots scheme. I mean, will the snow in New England now be pink? I mean, in Chicago, they dye the water during St. Patrick's Day. Will they be dyeing the snow pink in Foxborough in honor of their wide receiver? Now, that'll kind of be dangerous because he'll spend his time snorting all your snow. Although there might be a plus, because when there's a lot of snow and the stadium gets snowed out, just throw pink all over it and call Stephon and his friends, and they'll clean it up. You get one of those helicopters that we use to turn out fires. Just drop some pink dust on it. You call Stephon and his friends over, and they'll sniff out the entire stadium. They'll look like bloated snakes that are carrying around like a sheep or something that they just sucked up or something. But hey, and by the way, you won't have to pay them. You know how they always have to pay all these people in New England and Buffalo to clean up the snow? Well, you won't have to do it if the Patriot Stadium gets snowed out. Stefan and his friends, they'll snort it all away. Well, how about when Stefan scores a touchdown? Will he release like pink dust in the air? Shoot the powder into the stadium. Pink dust, pink powder into the stadium. Everybody will be high. This is good. There's a lot of places we can go with Stephon Diggs and cocaine. Pink cocaine, allegedly. Tell you. Stephon Diggs. Ragin says, what did I miss? Nothing. Nothing's gone on. Can we not talk Dolphins for a little while? They feel Marlins hopeless. Big O, have you ever played Guitar Hero? Yes, all the time. I haven't played in a long time, but I used to play all the time. My daughter got really good at it. If they get a second-round pick for Jonnu, Big O can't blame Greer. That's a great deal. Do you think they're going to get a second-round pick? Seriously? Come on, man. Did you notice how somber McD was in his press conference yesterday? By the way, thank you for reminding me. Props to Joe Shad of the Palm Beach Post. Remember I said somebody should ask him about, hey, do you feel bad about your relationship with Ramsey? And he basically kind of asked him that, and he wanted to stay away from it, and he dodged it. And you are correct on McD is going to be a different dude this year because his ass is on fire, bro. His seat is so hot. And, the worst part about not pressing him about all this is you could have asked him then, do you worry about building relationships with players? Because it seems like you've had a lot of defections and maybe prior success could have helped it. But, there's a lot of turnover for being a fourth-year coach. And that's bad. How does he answer that? And, of course, he's going to give you some bullshit answer. But the worst part about all of that, and great job by Joe Shad asking the question that needed to be asked. That was the one question in that press conference that really mattered. Great job by Joe Shad on that one. And that tells you how bad things are, that they don't have the coach that can build relationships with players. And that was a problem with Adam Gase. That was the problem with Flo. That was the problem with Philbin. It's amazing how they continue to hire coaches that don't understand how to connect with men. Philbin, for the life of him, could not connect with players. Adam Gase could not connect with players. Flo was terrible at connecting with players. It's always good times here at Hialeah. Yes, sir. Isn't it weird? I mean, they struggle to find a coach that can relate. You watch Paul Maurice, and then you watch what we've had here. Paul Maurice or Flo? Paul Maurice or Philbin? Paul Maurice or Gase? Paul Maurice or McD? No, Cam Cameron couldn't connect with players either, dude. Another one of these guys. He was also really highly religious and probably made it too much a part of his DNA in the whole deal in the locker room. But he couldn't connect with people. He alienated a bunch. Why is it that the Dolphins always hire, a coach that struggles to communicate? And they know this. That's why I'm telling you this year is not about winning, because you have not carried yourself at all like you're trying to save your job. Chris Grier, to me, is absolutely safe. And that's because this wasn't his hire. We'll never find out until years later or something, that somebody finally gives it up or something along those lines. But this whole thing about Chris Grier working with people, I think that's what happened. He had to work with the people above him who probably wanted this guy. By the way, it was the owner that wanted to extend Philbin. So who's to say that him and Garfinkel weren't part of this? I don't know. Hey, Matt Caldwell with the Florida Panthers. Does anybody ever mention Matt Caldwell when they say great success? They say Paul Maurice, they say the owner, and they say the players, right? And I'm sorry, the GM, Zito, right? You know, without Matt Caldwell, none of that shit happens. Nobody knows that. Bill Zito's not here without Matt Caldwell. A lot of the shit that's happened, nobody says anything about Matt Caldwell. Nobody. I can tell you for a fact that he's one of the main reasons why the Panthers are the Panthers. And he's not the GM, but he's the reason the GM is here. One of the main reasons. Nobody mentions Matt Caldwell at all, dude. The poor man does not get the love that he does, and he will not take it. He will not ask for it. He will not tell you about it. None of that shit. And the people in the people inside the organization, if you pull them aside, they'll tell you, like they've told me in the past. But somehow or another, it's not mentioned nearly enough in the media and in circles that Matt Caldwell is, bro, you don't want to ever lose Matt Caldwell as a Panthers fan. Ever. So make sure that name stays with the Panthers, because he is one of the main reasons why they are where they are now. Okay? So, you know, I'm saying if he has such a hand in it, how can I not think that maybe Tom Garfinkel and the owner may have a hand in some other stuff here too? And the way Chris Grier is running things, and again, what I've told you, I put it to my nosy, and it don't smell so rosy. He doesn't seem like that's a Chris Grier hire. All right. You know, Tyreek Hill has been a major distraction. Okay. Let's take, for example, this week alone. This is the same week where he tells you he's going to church and then also is in an all-day video with all kinds of disgusting and irresponsible remarks with Aiden Ross, who is not necessarily considered the cleanest of individuals out there. Let's just put it that way. Okay? And not really even a podcast that you want to be on. But again, you're kind of stupid. I get it. But he thinks most of us are stupid. So in a week where, you know, you're with Aiden Ross, you're also telling me you're going to church. I can't take you serious. Because anyway, to me, listening to Tyreek Hill talk now, it's the Peanuts teacher. Want, want. I don't hear anything anymore. It's just like, oh, he's talking gibberish, lies. That's what I see in him. So it's hard for him to stay out of trouble and get out of your hair and all that kind of stuff. You hope that it happens this year so you can get rid of him finally, and we'll see. He's already talking about 2,000 yards. Okay, more distractions. And again, we talked about this the last time, that was stupid talk. There's no reason to talk about 2,000 yards. That's not really what you need in order to win. I don't think this is going to be a winning team at all. Okay, I think this is going to be a disastrous season. I'm on record with all of that. Okay, but if you want to play the if game and you want to try to have some success, now you want to do it with Tyreek Hill, well, we all know that in the pass happy mode like that, that's not going to work, right? It's not going to work once we get to December and January and February. Well, you're not ever going to get to February like that, right? Okay. So he's going to want the ball. He's going to complain about wanting the ball. He's going to want about 2,000 yards, all that kind of crap. And then you've got to control the situation. The only way you get to control Tyreek Hill, believe it or not, is Peyton Manning, is Jalen Hurts, it's Trent Dilfer, it's Phil Simms. Anybody know where I'm going? Anybody have any idea what I'm talking about? Well, all those people and all those teams ran the ball, and they ran the ball very well, and they were intimidating, and you had to make sure you protected the run. Peyton Manning couldn't throw for 10 yards with Denver, but you knew that they could run the ball. They had an offensive line. They had a defense that was amazing. So they didn't need to do much offensively, and it wasn't like you needed big-time receivers to bail you out. Baltimore, they ran the ball like crazy with Jamal Lewis. They had a great tight end. They didn't have a great passing game. They had a great defense. They ran the ball. They played defense. They won a title. Brandon Stokely was your best receiver. While the Eagles have a great receiving core, it's not really why they win. Jalen Hurts had 220 yards passing to win the Super Bowl. He had 74 yards rushing. And Saquon Barkley didn't have a game at all. But you know what he had? He had his presence. Because of the season he had, that safety and that middle linebacker, they can't drop back. They got to cheat the entire time, and they got to worry about Saquon, which opens everything up for you because you can run the ball. The Giants, years ago, with Otis Anderson, a great offensive line, a great defensive line, a great quarterback, and Ingram and McConkey at wide receiver. So I've given you examples where you have talent in the passing game like they do in Philly, but you didn't really need it. You may not have great talent like Baltimore, right? But you didn't really need it either because you were going to win foundationally. Well, that's the only way you limit Tyreek's interference, nuisance, and imbalance is by running the football. By running the football, you will protect Tua. By running the football, you will create manageable downs. You will make it easy for every quarterback, like Tom Brady, like Pat Mahomes, like Peyton Manning, who can only throw for 10 yards. You can win. Trent Dilfer will win a Super Bowl for you. I'm not saying the Dolphins are going even to the playoffs or winning the Super Bowl, but you do have a Tyreek Hill problem. And in order to keep it in check, the right way is by dominating, by running the football. Will they be able to do it? Probably not. The coach has yet to prove that he will stick to the run. They have bigger backs in the group now. They have made an investment on both guard positions. They are going to be healthy at the tackle spots and at the center spot. You have set everything up. You've got a fullback. You have set everything up for you to be able to run the football if you can. But if you cannot, one, it'll be a long season like it usually is. You will struggle to win. You will make it harder on your quarterback or any quarterback that takes over if Tua gets injured. And more importantly, Tyreek Hill will become more of a distraction because you don't have the balance, and he sees that you can't count on the run, so let's pass. So if you want to minimize the distraction that is Tyreek Hill, the only way to do it is by running the football and running it consistently and running it with authority. It's the only way. And by doing that, it makes every receiver a much better weapon. Because when you've got to worry as a defense about the running game, it just does not leave you enough people to cover out there, especially with the speed that they possess on offense. So either you run the ball and run it effectively to the point that it is the centerpiece of your offense, like every offense should be. That's the only way you're going to limit Tyreek Hill. Outside of that, it's distraction city 7 days a week. That's what's going to happen. All right. Let's see. What else? What a match it's going to be, the Pacers and Thunder. Vegas is going to have a hard time choosing. Rosendo, little Brat Pack action. Great movie. Yes, St. Elmo's Fire. Or St. Patriot's Fire. Let's see. My guess is Diggs had Tusi. Cocaine is a hell of a drug. I believe the pink cocaine is called Tusi. IDE, have to ask my godfather, who is now retired from the MPD. Okay? I had no idea what it's called. But I know I've heard already, I've seen it on the news, that the pink cocaine, the pinky cocaine, is something out there in the streaming. Either that or they're playing strip poker. Well, the stripping was going to go on regardless. And Frankie, who commonly uses it, says that the pink cocaine is called Tusi. So Frankie knows. He's big into Tusi. I keep telling him it's the Watusi, but he still, is using it, and it's wrong. You got to stay away from it, bro. Okay? Got to stay away from it. Ocala Joe, thank you, sir, for the love and the super chat. Very nice of you. Says, oh, your Bitcoin never disappoints. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It never will. But Joe, you get it. You're one of the ones that understands it. Our entire financial system will be based on sats, which is how Bitcoin is formed, in sats. So that'll be our pricing structure in the future. It's coming. It's just, it's an adjustment for all of us. It's going to happen. I got to, people have done it already, but I got to do it for myself or like other people to see it. Because, there's always people like, can you buy anything with Bitcoin? And of course, you can buy stuff if they take it. Yeah. And now people will start taking it all over the place and understanding it. Because some people even don't think that you can convert it to money because they don't believe it's money so I've got to do that and go buy $10 of Bitcoin on my own, not out of my stash. And then just go to Steak and Shake and show people how to do it. I think that would be actually really, really cool, so we'll see. By the way, the Brian Windhorst stuff. Do you want to know why you New Yorkers, why it is you have the reputation that you have, why you guys are known as just assholes in general. You want to know why? Because you throw trash bags at a kid wearing a Halliburton jersey. And now you find yourself down 3-1. You're arrogant assholes. And then look at the Brian Windhorst thing. And this doesn't go on in most cities, by the way. And our sports fans down here, we don't act like that, by the way. But the story is actually like the Brian Windhorst stuff. Did you read about it? Like, it was worse than it showed, actually. The Windhorst appeared Tuesday on Barstool's Pardon My Take. During the episode, Windhorst spoke about being confronted on the streets of New York following the Knicks' second-round playoff victory. By the way, in this, he takes a very classy approach. I will be much more blunt and honest. Windhorst said that the incident was actually worse than what was seen in the viral videos that circulated online in particular. Windhorst said that the fans got physical and put their hands on him. Windhorst described those fans as hooligans and were not actually Knicks fans, and that's bullshit. That's where he's being classy and he's trying not to call out Knicks fans, but I'm not going to do that. And it has nothing to do with class, dude. Let's call scumbags out for being freaking scumbags. And a ton of you Knicks fans, you're a bunch of lowlifes. You're a bunch of idiots. You're a bunch of scumbags. That's why you people don't deserve to have any success, because all you're going to do is destroy the streets and fight with your whatever opponents or fans or whatever. You know what it is to be attacking Brian Windhorst, dude? That guy's bothering nobody. Why? Because he doesn't have a high opinion of your team or something? You're going to throw trash bags at a kid that is wearing a Halliburton jersey because he's a fan of the team. You people are lowlifes, bro. You're dirtbags. And you don't deserve anything, bro. I hope the Mets choke constantly. I hope that we're doing 1994 in 2094 for the Rangers. Okay? I hope the Knicks never win. I hope the Jets never win. I hope you people suffer all the time. Because there's too many of you that you're just assholes. Pacers fans aren't treating people like that in the streets. Heat fans aren't treating people like that in the streets. Come on, dude. So just to see, it says the truth is there's other footage that apparently is not going to become unearthed where hands were put on me. Nothing serious happened. People put their hands on me and I had to shove their hands off. I basically jaywalked across 35th Street to get away. I was never in any serious danger, but it was not a pleasant experience at 12:35 in the morning. So, you know, and that whole thing about they were not Knicks fans, dude, if they're not Knicks fans, they're not attacking you. And if it's a straight up mugging in New York, they're going to mug you. They'll just mug you in New York. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, they were Knicks fans. He's just being nice. But I'm not going to be nice because Knicks fans don't deserve any of that niceness because they're assholes in general. You're obnoxious assholes. And you're so ignorant. You know, the best part is we had an idiot that used to do radio in this town. He used to like brag about how New York fans are smart. You guys are probably some of the dumbest fans I've ever seen in my life. Right? Because anybody that overreacts on Jeremy Lin, you got to be stupid. I've seen Yankee fans get in the way of their own players trying to catch a fly ball for an out. You people are as stupid as they come. You act elitist, and you're not. Your city's not elitist either. It's a pig pen. And that's why everybody ends up leaving. New Yorkers are like old Cuban men that talk shit about Cuba and make it sound like everything in Cuba was great. Same shit. So that's what I think in general of you New Yorkers. Until you prove me different, that I get to know you. But in general, I'm going to say you guys are assholes. And the proof is there and it's constant. Let's see what else. Big O, I was 2 years ago in Gillette Stadium, and I even sent you a picture with the Tua shirt. I would never go back there. No worse people than Patriot massholes. Yes, I did talk about Jonnu Smith, so you can rewind, and I'm sure he'll make it a rant. It was a classic rant because it kind of sheds light on what really is going on. It's more than just Jonnu Smith. If you're smart and you look and read through the trees and the bullshit like we like to do on this show, you'll know. Don't forget, folks, they're giving away $50,000 of gold on Saturday night at 1 a.m., which is like Sunday early morning. Saturday night, come on out here. You play the slot machines, you get entries in. And I'm telling you, a fraction of the people that actually have entries are here to try to win the car, the gold, the boat, whatever it is they're giving away. And they're giving another $50,000. I'm not a financial advisor, but I would sell that shit and turn it right into Bitcoin right away, bro. But hey, again, I'm not a financial advisor. I don't know anything. We thank, of course, the great Steve Calabro. We thank, of course, the man, the myth, the legend that is Sean Stanley. Appreciate him as always. We thank all of you for tuning in. If you sent in a super chat, thank you so much. If you made a donation, God bless you. If you visit our sponsors and tell them that we sent you, thank you. Whether you're buying a Subaru, an Acura, Toyota from Craig's Inn, please tell them that we sent you. If you're coming out here to Hialeah, if you're going to Canesware, Welton Rayom, Big Cheese, Miami.com, Sloman's Home Shield, 1-800-ALARM-ME, whatever it is, folks, R&M Contractors, Ray is some great people, so go check it out. I'm telling you, so please appreciate you all out there. As always, we will see you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. live from Acura of Pembroke Pines, baby. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. We'll see you tomorrow.